So when can you cheat? Cheating is what got you in the mess to begin with. Cheating is what got you here. What makes you think you can go right back to your old ways? Why would you go right back to your old ways that got you in the position that you're in, sick and fat?
I'm Cristy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening.
Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I'm your host, Cristy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer. And in today's podcast, I'm already smiling. 10 stupid things people say to you while you're losing weight. 10 stupid things people say to you when you're losing weight. I was going to say like 10 unhelpful things. I was like, then we're going to call it stupid because it is stupid. And I'm going to explain to you why. Now, let me tell you, these are in no particular order. I'm just throwing 10 of them out to you. Over the past 28 years that I've been in this industry, I've heard it all. Oh my goodness. People say that the most ridiculous things to me, to my rebels, to my coaches. And it is so frustrating. So I've kind of kept a running list of the 10 things that people will say to you. They might not. I hope they don't, but chances are they're going to. 10 things they're going to say to you during weight loss that are stupid. Because you need to keep in mind that people are often projecting what they're projecting onto you when they say these kind of things. It's not about you. It's about them. And they have these bull crap opinions. They're not taking you seriously when they say crap like this. You know, we're going to go through a couple of things that they say that proves they're not taking you seriously. They think you're the flake. They think you're going to fail. They think this is going to be another fad. They think this is going to be another waste of money. And they don't think you can do this. They're also trying to control you to feel better about themselves. And that's, again, a part of projecting their insecurities on you. So your drive, your commitment, your discipline is going to convict them. It's going to bring to the forefront of, in their mind, you're not thinking about it. You're just trying to do you. But in their mind, it's going to shed light on the fact that they are lacking in those areas. I mean, sometimes though, these guys have legit concerns that they're trying to project, but it comes across as unsupportive. It's not helpful. And the bottom line is that people, they don't want to hear what people have to say. They don't honestly want your opinion. You know, Andrea Dell has been on staff with Code Red for 5 years, Andrea. And she's been a Code Red coach for that long. And she's been at Goal Weight for over 5 years. And I legit need her opinion on things. And even then, in the years we've been working together, I legit need her opinion. And I'll say, hey, I really need your opinion. What do you think about this? And even then she's careful what she says. I'm her boss. I mean, I get why she's careful, but even then she's a little bit, she treads lightly. She gives me her opinion, but the way that she says it, she's always very careful. So I have to kind of pry that out of her. Can I get your opinion on this? I need your feedback. I need eyes on this. What do you think? How do you feel when you see this? What's your gut instinct? I have to kind of dig. Same thing with my sister, Carrie. She is careful about because people, and I'm talking about work related stuff and really and even like my dog, like sister stuff, personal things that I might talk to Carrie about. She also is very careful. And anytime anybody asks my opinion, I say, do you really want my opinion? Does it really matter? Is it going to make a difference? Like, are you sure? Is this going to ruin our relationship? Like, I really want to make sure that they are prepared for my opinion. And then I try not to be too direct, although I don't know any other way but being direct. People say you're brutally honest. I don't know I don't know. It doesn't feel brutal to me. Maybe it is to other people, but I also have a friend, Jenna Arsenal, the dog trainer that I mentioned a lot. She's Hazel's breeder, and she helps me train. She and Jason help me train Hazel, and she loves the way I'm super direct and super honest. So I think that a lot of you guys like it, but you need to understand that even if you are saying you want someone's opinion, or they're saying that to you, a lot of times they kind of really don't. So just be careful when you're going to do this. All right, is everybody ready for the top 10 things? The top 10 stupid things that people say when you're losing weight. All right. Again, no particular order. But because a couple of these probably are more important than the other, as far as not more important, but more prominent. The first one is, well, you don't need to lose any weight. I mean, they either say this at the start of your journey or after you've lost some, but not after you've lost all your weight. Oh, you don't need to lose any weight. A lot of times people wear clothes that they think hide their weight. And a lot of times it does. I mean, when I was much heavier than this, I knew how to hide it a little bit. I knew how to disguise where I was gaining the weight. I gained the weight in my lower body from my belly button down. I almost always, no matter what my weight is, I almost always have 6-pack abs. But from the belly button down, Katie bar the door, that's where I'm going to put the weight on my hips, my butt, my thighs, my lower stomach. So I am more of a pear shape. I like to say I'm an hourglass. I'm an hourglass when I'm on track. I'm a pear shape when I'm not. And so I knew how to wear peplum tops. I knew how to ascension my waist. I knew how to accentuate, like show off my muscles. So that's where your eye would go. So people would often say things like this to me. Well, you don't need to lose. You look great. Well, they didn't know what they didn't know. And so people can't see, and they don't also know your health problems and your health concerns that are strongly related to your weight gain, your being overweight or being obese. And so people say these things, they're not fully informed. They don't know what your body fat percentage is. I mean, you could be skinny fat. You could be at a goal weight, but still have 35% of your body weight is fat. And this is not good. 40%. I've seen people with almost half of their weight is half of their body is fat. That's not good. A lot of Americans are over fat, but then you look at them, and on the surface, they look skinny. We call that skinny fat, or TOFI, thin on the outside, fat on the thin on the outside, fat on the inside. So a lot of people will say this, well, you don't need to lose weight. Partially, they're not seeing the whole picture. Partially, you might be hiding it. Partially, they don't want to face the fact that they need to lose weight. So by saying you don't need to lose weight, it's kind of by saying, which means I don't need to lose weight. Number 2, well, it's just this once. Talking about eating off plan. It's just this once. Well, first of all, it ain't never just once. It ain't never just once. If it was just once, we wouldn't have an obesity epidemic in this country. We wouldn't have 88% of this country overweight. 40% obese. We wouldn't have 8 out of 10 police officers overweight and 4 out of 10 police officers obese. We wouldn't have loads of metabolic issues in our society. This country is massively sick. So it's never just once. I've never seen anybody just have one bite, myself included. That's why I don't keep sugar in the house. It ain't never just once, or we would not be so sick and fat in this country. This is a serious problem. But people will say stupid things to you. They'll say, oh, it's just this once. It won't be a big deal. Back on track tomorrow. And number 3 goes right along with that. Have just one bite. Again, it's not just one bite of wedding cake. It's not just one bite of Costco pizza. It's not just one bite of chicken and dumplings. It isn't. It's not just one bite of the Kit Kat. It's not just one bite of the Krispy Kreme donut. It's not just one bite of the cake pop. It's never just one bite. I've never in 28 years seen someone take just one bite. Again, myself included. Hello, I'm right here in front. It's never just one bite. But people say stupid things, and that's one of them. Number 4. So when can you cheat? You need to understand that a lot of you guys have been overweight and or obese and or have had metabolic problems for years and even decades. A lot of you guys, my target niche, menopausal women in their 50s and 60s. I know I have some girls in their 30s and 40s, and I have guys, but menopausal women in their 50s and 60s, that's what makes up the majority of Code Red. They've had problems for decades. They've had problems since they were in grade school or middle school, or ever since I got pregnant with my first son, and your son is 46 years old, like me. This is a real serious problem. So when can you cheat? Cheating is what got you in the mess to begin with. Cheating is what got you here. What makes you think you can go right back to your old ways? Why would you go right back to your old ways that got you in the position that you're in, sick and fat? But people say that, well, when can you, anytime anybody ever says to me, well, when can I have a cheat meal? When can I cheat? When can I cheat? When can I cheat? That's a red flag right away. Like, you don't want it bad enough. You're not in pain bad enough, because when somebody's in that much pain, when they're really, really hurting, they don't want to cheat. They're willing to do whatever it takes to feel good again, whatever it takes to get rid of the pain in their hands and knees, whatever it takes to no longer hide behind their kids in Christmas photos, whatever it takes to be able to go climb the bleachers at their son's soccer game, whatever it takes to have intimacy with their spouse again, because they're so embarrassed and they don't even want to get undressed. They're willing to do whatever it takes. So this whole when can I cheat mentality, or when can you, stupid people say stupid things, and it's when can you cheat? I will tell you with regard to a cheat meal, I don't know. I'm recording this and we're coming up on Christmas 2022. And I asked my coach, Eric, can I have a cheat meal on Christmas Day with my mom and her husband? And he said, no. And I'm 18 weeks out from my bodybuilding show. That's 4.5 months out. And he's not even letting me have any kind of a cheat. And I busted my butt for 4 months so far. And I've gotten leaner and I'm losing weight and I'm getting ready for this bodybuilding competition. And he said, no. And what I'm realizing, if you watch the podcast, if you watch the podcast, The Bottle Never Ends, you'll remember that nothing's going to change after my show, and nothing changes when you get to go weight. You just shift things around a little bit, but you don't just go right to cheating. But people say stupid things, and that's always one of them. Another number 5 of stupid things people say when you're losing weight: good for you. And then they pressure you to eat off plan. Have you ever noticed that? You're having a chicken salad, dressing on the side, everything's weighed and measured. If you're on a home study program, that's a customized program, by the way. When I write for you, your customized calories, carbs, protein, sugar, fats, your customized goal weight, your customized water amount. I put you through tutorials. I have an onboarding meeting with you, meet with me, and we talk about your program. There's a whole instructional video, an entire instructional manual, and when you can expect to get the weight off. I put you through all that. And it's a home study program for $397. So if you have a home study program, you need to weigh and measure and log your food, and I'll teach you how to do all that. And you can lose 10% of your body weight each month. If you're on the challenge, then you're eating off the food list. You're eating meat, vegetables, nuts, eggs, seeds, seafoods, and fat. And you're drinking water and you're sleeping. You're tracking those. You're tracking the water, the weight each day, and the sleep. So you might be having a chicken salad with some ranch dressing or blue cheese or Caesar dressing. Those are the lowest sugar dressing, whatever. And then they say, oh, I'm so proud of you. Good for you. Do you want some of these chips and salsa? Mexican restaurant? Come on. They put the chips and salsa right there in front of you. Well, why not? Oh, it's just, of course, we can go back to number 1, number 2. It's just one chip. It's just one bite. That's stupid. Why do people do that? They praise you and then they pressure you to eat off the plan. Why do people do that? Number 6, why bother? You're just going to fail again. This hurts me to even say this out loud. This hurts my heart to just say this to you. But unfortunately, in the society we live in with the bullcrap friends that some of you guys have, so-called friends, so-called family members, they say this kind of crap to you. Well, you're just going to fail again. You might have failed over and over and over, 70 times 7, like the Bible says, over and over and over and over. And you've wasted money and you've wasted time and you've gone back on your word and you have not kept your word to yourself and you have promised your spouse and you didn't keep your word to them. So it might seem like you're going to fail again, but don't nobody need to say that. The reality is you're not going to fail again. And in my mind, failing is quitting. Failing is quitting. So if you don't quit, then that's not failing. You might backslide, as us Christians say it. Remember the old school church? Backslide. Oh, they are backslidden. That's a church thing. I'm a preacher's kid, so I bring up, Carrie and I bring up church terms. You might backslide a little bit. You might slip up a little bit. You might make mistakes or make choices. Hardly ever. If you're putting something in your mouth, that's not a mistake. That's a choice. You did that. Nobody's shoving breadsticks from Olive Garden down your throat. You might have done that, but that's not necessarily failing. Failing to me is when you completely quit the program. So don't listen to that baloney when someone says that to you. Well, you're just going to fail again. Don't accept that. Don't let those words have power over you. Don't settle for that. That's not you. That's not you. You know how many times in Code Red, owning my company, that I wouldn't even call it failed, but society might call it failed, but yet I'm still here. 28 years later, I'm still here. Is that a failure? No, it's not a failure. But I have messed up a lot along the way. And I could do a whole podcast just on all the crap I've done I just screwed up so bad. But that doesn't mean you're failing. But yet people, they say that crap to you. And you know what? You don't need those people in your life. Well, they're family members. You can still limit the time. That's a whole different podcast for a different day. But that is number 6 of the top 10 stupid things people say to you. You're just going to fail again. Why are you even bothering to do this? Bull crap. Don't accept those words. Don't accept those words. Number 7, you can just exercise it off. Oh, I've done many podcasts on this and dozens, countless videos and teachings on how you cannot exercise off your weight problem. There's no way to out-train your diet. There is no way to exercise enough to get the pounds of fat off of you. Example, I hiked across the Grand Canyon. I did rim to rim in May of 2021. It was 26 miles and 6,800 feet of climbing. I did it in 9 hours and I burned exactly 3,500 calories. Well, a pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So you're telling me that I would have to hike rim to rim of the Grand Canyon, 26 times, 86 times? Some of you guys have over 100 pounds to lose, over 100 times. Before you can, that's what I've got to do. There's no way to ever mathematically, and it's absolutely impossible to exercise off your weight. You cannot do it. You can't do it. You'll blow out a knee before you'll actually make a dent in your weight loss. It's just impossible. So you can't. People just say to exercise it off. Well, how is that working for you, Karen? No, it doesn't work for people. You can't exercise off that tiramisu last night. Now, I won't go down that rabbit hole. I was going to go down the rabbit hole, but it's just not the way it works. A lot of you guys don't have knees that are healthy enough to be able to walk rim to rim 100 times. Even I did. Believe me, it was exhausting. It was the hardest thing other than doing Mount Whitney. Mount Whitney was harder, but it was the hardest thing I've ever done. It was hard. You can't out-train your bad diet. You can't outrun your fork. It's not the way weight loss works. Number 8 of the top 10 stupid things people say while you're losing weight. You know what? You're obsessed with this. You're obsessed with this. So I have now decided I don't want to die an early death. I have now decided that I would like to be able to play on the floor with my grandchildren. I have now decided that I want to feel good, have energy, reduce my medication, fit into clothes that I used to be able to fit into. I have now decided I want more energy. I want more confidence. I want to go to my son's soccer game without being embarrassed walking in front of people. I have now decided that I want to have intimacy with my spouse without being embarrassed when I take off my clothes. And now I've become obsessed, really? Because I can see a whole lot of things that people are obsessed over. There are people who take vacations, and what they do is the entire vacation for like 10 days or 2 weeks is visiting every single restaurant on diners, drive-ins, and dives from Guy Fieri. That's what they do. They go from each restaurant to restaurant to restaurant that has been featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. And they're praised for that. Oh, so many likes on Instagram. Oh, so many comments on Instagram when you're posting a new photo of you being out inside Joe's, seafood restaurant over in Salem, Oregon. I'm making that up. And now you got praised for that's obsessed. That's crazy to me. But yet you want to take your life back and you want to get your health in order, and now you're obsessed. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's insane. It's your health. Nothing is more important than your health. Your spiritual walk with Christ is important, and that should be number one. Your relationship with Christ is number one. Number two is your relationship with yourself. Number three is your relationship with others. Well, I put my kids ahead of me. Well, then you will not be around to watch your daughter graduate with a master's degree. That's just not going to work. You're not going to be around to watch your granddaughter walk down the aisle. That's not going to work, because you're going to die. Death is coming sooner to you. Those of you who let your diabetes get out of control. Death is coming sooner to those of you who have had multiple heart attacks and you refuse to change your diet and follow doctor's orders. Well, that's a different podcast. Functional medicine doctor's orders. Let me put it that way. Death is coming sooner to those of you who don't take your health seriously. Death is coming sooner to those of you who put others ahead of yourself. That's just the reality of it. Ain't nobody going to take care of you but you. People say that I'm obsessed with my goal of competing in the Emerald Cup on April 30th. 2023. Yeah, it's a big goal. I have to be obsessed, but not at the expense of taking care of my dog or being a good daughter or running Code Red. You can do it, but top 10 stupid things people say, and one of them is you're obsessed just because you want to put your health in order. That's such bull crap. I don't like it. Number 9. Whoa, when are you going to stop losing weight? When are you going to stop losing weight? When I get a goal. When I reach the goal that Cristy and I agree on, because I'm the only one who can choose your goal weight for you. Nobody else. Your goal weight is between me and you. I don't care what your mailman says. I don't care what your pastor's wife says. I don't care what your partner says. Your goal weight is between you and I. That's it. So why would someone say that? Why would someone say, when are you going to stop losing weight? I'm going to continue to improve my health and get healthier, because when we do stop losing weight on the scale, we switch into maintenance, and then in maintenance, we get our body fat percentage tested. And if you need to drop any more body fat, we work on that at that point through other methods. So you might stop losing weight when you get to goal weight once you get to maintenance, but you don't stop improving on your health. So why do people, I know what they're trying to say. When are you going to be done with this whole real food, water, and sleep, which is what they should say, because that's what it's not about the weight loss. It's about improving my health. It's about improving my life, taking my life back. It's about not giving into what society has brainwashed me to believe. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing the proper human diet of real food, water, and sleep. Because even when you reach a certain goal weight and you get into maintenance, you don't stop being healthy. You don't go right back to Domino's pizzas and cake pops and caramel macchiatos. But why don't they say these things, don't they? They say these stupid things like, when are you going to stop losing weight? That only means, when can we go out for Margarita Mondays again? And that doesn't mean you're not going to ever get to go out. Like when I hit my goal and I can budget something like that in. Because it doesn't mean you can't have any more wine when you hit the goal. It doesn't mean you can't do Margarita Mondays. You just have to do it strategically. But why do people say that bull crap to us? I just don't understand that. And number 10, that's unsustainable. That's unsustainable. Once again, this is the proper human diet. This is what humans were created to eat for a millennia. Real food, water, and sleep. It's not the Code Red diet. I realize I'm Code Red, and we put this program in place to help you because of our methods. People are massively successful because of my coaching style, because of our methods, because of our certified coaches, because of Carrie, because of our Code Red network and the community. They're massively successful because of the 10 rules on the 10-pound takedown, because of the food list, because of the tracking. They're massively successful. Keep in mind, whether you want to call it Code Red or you want to call it the proper human diet, it's the proper human diet. You'll never have a doctor that'll ever say to you, I want you to stop eating real food, drinking water, and sleeping. And instead, I want you to eat chemically processed TV dinners and go ahead and do the drive-thru at McDonald's twice a day. No one's ever going to say that. So how is this unsustainable? Because even if you leave Code Red and leave the community, you still are going to eat real food, drink water, and sleep. You're still going to prioritize your sleep. You're still going to make sure you get a meat and veggie with every meal. You're still going to make sure you get on the scale every day and weigh yourself, because that is the first line of defense. You're still going to drink your water. That's not an unsustainable, unrealistic goal. That's not something that you can't I can't wrap my head around doing this for the rest of my life. What? Said no one ever. That's ridiculous. But I've heard it. I've seen it written in comments. I've seen it written under my ads. I've heard people who have left the program because they were mad at me. They gained their weight back. Then all of a sudden they say, that's unsustainable. No, you just wanted to have Domino's pizza every single night. You just wanted to go out for Margarita Mondays every single night. You just wanted to have the break room donuts. You wanted to go back to caramel macchiatos. You wanted to go back to copious amounts of coffee and no water. Let's call a spade a spade. It's not that it's unsustainable. It's just not what you want to do. You would rather eat chemically processed junk food. Don't say it's unsustainable. It's just that you choose McDonald's, you choose Taco Bell, you choose Long John Silver over meat and vegetables, ribeye steak and asparagus, eggs and bacon, avocado, cream cheese and cottage cheese. That part is the truth. It's not that it's unsustainable, because it's real food, water, and sleep. That's the proper human diet. And it's definitely one of the top 10 most stupid things people say when losing weight to you, when you're losing weight. Well, what a fun podcast this was. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. Just know that we understand, we get it, we've heard it all. There's nothing that you can say or do that's going to shock us or make us you're not going to be able to throw us for a loop or make it to where we can't answer your question or can't help you in any way. Look, we've been there. We know it. Our coaches have been through it. We've been through it. We've been around this mountain. This ain't our first rodeo. So know that by hearing these top 10 stupid things people say when losing weight, by hearing that, just know that you are not alone. Because I'm sure people have said that to you and you might feel like you're alone. You're not alone. We've heard it too. Because look, come on. How many times people said this list to you? We get it. It's not true. And that's not you. Don't let that define you. But I hope you had a good laugh over this podcast and you learned something. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you, everybody. Hey, I'm Cristy Code Red, and thank you for listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you want to stay connected to other rebels like you, join us in our private network. Our Code Red app is a one-stop shop, free from ads, algorithms, and censorship, and a place where you can see, listen, and watch everything Code Red. You'll be encouraged, motivated, and fired up to stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Get recipe ideas, tips, tricks, and help from coaches, mentors, and other rebels. You can also purchase products, programs, and coaching all right there in one place. And if you have any trouble navigating the app, we're right there to help you. Go to coderedlifestyle.com/APP to join for free. And I'll see you on the next episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle.